Folks, we need to, as a content-consuming society, have a little talk about discerning the legitimacy of certain videos. Now, I'm not talking about, UFO sighting videos or Bigfoot videos. No, I'm talking about videos that content creators themselves put out. Over the past few months, and I'm sure some of you that watch similar content, have seen a surge in people giving this video in particular attention. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. Yes, it's weird and gross and disgusting, as are most food videos that we cover on this channel, but you do realize that it's strictly for content, right? At least that's what I'm hoping, giving everybody that's seen this the benefit of the doubt, but there are several channels out there who have reacted to it, which, as far as I can tell, think that these videos are legitimate. For those of you that don't know, these videos are coming from a TikTok account called Barfly. It's 777, I think, except for the one that I just showed you, which was from a previous account of his that more than likely got banned for violating the terms of service or community guidelines for showing preparation of food in a supposedly unsanitary area. Before we begin, as always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 5,000 subs as our next sub goal, and we're seeing how quick we can reach that next milestone, so thanks for all your support. Let's just take a look at the first video that pops up when you search Barfly's account on TikTok.
Hotel Birria Tacos. Success.
Grossness factor aside, the very first thing you gotta say is this man actually legitimately has some sort of cooking skill knowledge. At the very least, he can follow a recipe and make something that looks appealing when separated from everything else that's going on. The big issue obviously comes from the fact that he is filming this in what seems to be a hotel bathroom. This is seen throughout a majority of his videos. They're either in a hotel bathroom or some other nondescript bathroom area, and he uses all the amenities in the room to prepare the food, which you're probably thinking, that's disgusting. Yes, I agree, but in this case, it's not as unsanitary as you would think. Don't get me wrong, just the idea of having a meal that's prepped in the water well of a toilet is putrid. This kind of leads to the seedier underside of content farming channels like this. You have content farms out there. Obviously, there's the issue with all YouTube kids channels and using, copyrighted characters and creating crappy animations and content farms like that. But the other content farms usually consist of things like this, creating outrageous foods in outrageous environments. What creators like Barfly do, they're not going and paying, $300 a night just to rent a hotel room and make a video in the bathroom. What they do, I believe, is one of two scenarios. Number one is they have a consistent rental filming location, meaning that they possibly have some sort of arrangement with the hotel to have a specific room set aside for them so that they can film content in without having to worry about it actually being contaminated by other guests while they're not filming. The second branch that the theory could take is this is just a set. They just got all these amenities and built it on a set, and obviously they ran actual water and plumbing and things through everything, but it's not actually connected to a hotel room. And this is kind of similar to another weird, gross side of TikTok. Even if you're not looking for it, or some other people might have showed it to you, sometimes on your For You page, you'll get these weird, like, thirst trap videos of supposed teachers in their classrooms doing whatever. But if you really stop to pay attention to the backgrounds, it's usually just an empty room that has a few classroom decorations, like, tacked onto the wall. They're not, and I shouldn't have to say this, it should be obvious, they're not actual teachers or doctors or whatever. They just go to their nearest school supply store, buy a few, calendars and vocabulary card posters and things like that, and pin them up on the wall and then film these videos. Yet, as we've come to learn with the internet, sometimes people are stupid, or not necessarily stupid, but they choose to ignore the obvious. Anyway, I've kind of gone off on a tangent now, so let's get back to looking at some of his videos. The hotel bathroom videos aren't the only ones that he makes. There are some which he makes outside of what I'm presuming to be his house.
Yes.
Okay, so we all understand the fact that during this jump cut, he just switched out the pan and the water and beef for water that was not taken from the pool. I mean, if you stop to think about it for 2 seconds, yeah, no shit. It should be very obvious, but of course, we're all suffering from brain rot at one level or another. So if you scroll through the comments, everybody's talking about the fact that he used pool water. Oh, isn't it going to taste like chlorine? And he plays into it, which kudos to him for leaning into the whole gimmick. At what point do we switch off our brains? At what point do we stop thinking about these things? I'm sure it's different for a lot of people. Some people can go for an hour or two, watch a movie, not really care about being analytical at all, and just enjoy it for what it is. Whereas others out there, whether you're a film critic or, somebody that's just really anal about things, they can sit there and nitpick through the entire thing. And it's a weird translation into short form videos like this. Because short form content, we're getting at such a consistent speed, we almost don't have time to stop and think about things, unless you're actively trying to. I think there is value to be found in content where you can just kind of zone out and shut off your brain for a few minutes. Trust me, as somebody with severe anxiety with thoughts constantly running through my head, even though I can talk as much crap as I want about some short form content videos, I'll find myself just kind of endlessly scrolling just to have my brain focus on something that's not doom and gloom. Not just another location that he's renting. It's a nice house. Maybe he's retired. At least at one point, he had a good paying job, clearly. So you know what? Go for it. If you want to make these weird engagement farming TikTok videos while also kind of showing off that you're a decent cook, go for it, man. I can't tell you how to live your life. I admire the tenacity of it, if anything. Looking at the design of at least what's the outside of his house, the hotel bathrooms he's filming in might just be a bathroom in his house. It could just be a secondary bathroom in his house that he's like thoroughly deep cleaned, replaced the toilet in, gone through all the stuff to make sure it's a sanitary environment. That is, of course, assuming that he makes it a sanitary environment. I desperately hope he does. You can bleach down and scrub and use the world's highest grade cleaning products on your toilet all you want. I'm still not eating anything that comes into contact with it. With all that being said, that's where we're going to end the video for today, folks. I know I was gone for a while. Life happens, but thanks y'all for coming back, and we're going to be getting into full swing soon enough again. As always, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you know any other weird cooking TikTok channels, any weird videos, TV shows, series, movies, anything you want me to look at that you think is weird, interesting, or funny. Thanks again to all my Patreon supporters, and right now we have the April content poll up on the Patreon. If you want to vote in it, all you have to do is join the $5 sous chef tier. By joining and voting, you can more directly suggest topics that I cover on the channel. As always, thanks y'all for supporting and sticking around, and I hope to see y'all next time. See ya.
Looking for an old bagel. They don't need an invite for a seat down at the table. A piece of pastrami, half-eaten wonton. Living in a bar, playing karaoke songs. Chewing on a sludge-filled Boston